It has taken long enough. Finally, we are seeing Ethereum over $2,000 per coin again. It has not been over $2,000 per coin in, I don't know, a couple of weeks already. It seems like it's been forever. We also see Bitcoin has recovered quite a bit today. Tugboat, my French bulldog, everyone's been asking about him. We'll bring him on as soon as we get 500 likes. If it happens during the stream, we'll bring him on. If it happens after, we'll bring him on the next episode. But either way, we got a lot of stuff to cover in today's video. We're going to go over, just talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, specifically in Mexico, price prediction there. We're going to go over some altcoins, specifically Dogecoin, Cardano, major news coming out from Cardano and Dogecoin, some things with Elon Musk. After that, we're going to go over regulations, crypto ETFs, a couple of key data points that point to where the market is going. And at the end, we're going to just do a market analysis, have a bit of a chat. So put anything in the comments that you want to talk about. Also, please be sure to like the video, subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video up to 500 likes. But let's just jump right into it. Right now, we're seeing the entire crypto market for the first day in a while look pretty good. Bitcoin is at 34,000, just about to break 35,000. We should break it while we are during this live stream today. Hopefully it happens. Ethereum is up massively, up 15%, over $2,100 per coin. Binance Coin's up 7%. Cardano's up 6%. Dogecoin's up 5%. A lot of coins are in the green today. And this is the first day in a while that we are seeing a pretty big price movement in the upwards direction. We did see Bitcoin flirt with $35,000 a couple of days ago, but now we're finally starting to see it have more upward pressure, a lot of buying pressure, and it looks like we could break that $35,000 resistance and push our way up to $40,000 per coin. Either way, though, let's get into what is going on, the big Bitcoin announcement, and that is specifically with what is going on with Mexico and one of the richest people in Mexico. So let's start off with that. Right now, Mexico's third richest person, he came out and said, look, his bank is working to accept Bitcoin. He's currently worth $15.8 billion. And he said that Bitcoin has extraordinary properties that no other assets have. And he goes on to explain why he is so bullish on Bitcoin in the future, while many people in the financial world don't want to talk about it. They try and stay away from it, and they don't like it at all. So basically what he said, first of all, is that he considers Bitcoin a financial asset. So he said it's not important to him whether it's a currency, whether people use it to transact. That just doesn't matter. He said, first of all, the thing is you can't go to a store and buy something with a gold coin. He's like, that's not how it works. Like, yes, maybe 1,000 years ago, hundreds of years ago, you could buy stuff with gold coins, but now you can't go to Best Buy and buy a computer with a gold coin, or Apple. You can't go buy something with a gold coin. So he says you have to exchange that gold for fiat currency, whatever the currency in that area is, whether it's the US dollar, whether it's the peso, whether it's the shekel, the yuan, whatever it is, you have to exchange it, gold, for that fiat currency, and use that. So he says for that reason alone, right now, Bitcoin has extraordinary properties that has so many advantages, because right now Bitcoin is something that is a digital gold. It is like a store of value that a lot of people treat as a digital gold, but also it is accepted as a form of currency in some countries. We're seeing El Salvador made it legal tender. So it has like the best of both worlds right now. Gold, really nowhere in the world can you go and pay with a gold coin. You can't. Like, you could exchange it for something. You could get cash for gold, but you can't just go and say to a store, here's a gold coin, what can I get? But with Bitcoin, you can go to stores and pay with Bitcoin, and you can also invest in Bitcoin and just hold it over time. So you really have the best of both with Bitcoin. In addition to this, he says that he recommends everyone having Bitcoin in their investment portfolio because it's an asset that has international value. It is traded with enormous liquidity worldwide, and that for that reason alone, it should be in anyone's portfolio. A lot of currencies you only can have in specific areas of the world. They're only useful, but Bitcoin, everyone knows, digital currency can be used anywhere. In addition to this, he says that right now, a lot of governments actually don't like Bitcoin, which we all know. We've seen China, they've banned Bitcoin mining. China has banned any sort of cryptocurrency transactions. Many banks, TSB Bank in the UK, banned Binance and all crypto exchanges. We've seen this happen all across the world, but ultimately governments don't like Bitcoin because it burns them that people can get out of their fiat trap, because that is what fiat money is. He said fiat money is a fraud. The dollar as hard currency is a joke. He said ultimately, this is what he said, directly what he said. He said ultimately when he started his professional career in 1981, the exchange rate was 20 Mexican pesos to $1. Today, on the other hand, he said, look, 20,000 pesos to $1. And that's the Mexican pesos. When you start talking about Venezuela, Argentina, Zimbabwe, well, the numbers get thrown out the window because it's like ridiculous, the proportions and these exchange rates. It's hundreds of thousands of coins, like pesos, in terms of $1. For just Mexico, 20,000 pesos for $1, he said. So it is absolutely ridiculous. He says that for that reason alone, fiat currency, really, he does not like it at all. It's insane how these exchange rates have worked over the last 2-3 decades. He says governments, people with power, could decree that it's illegal, that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies can't be used, but ultimately he thinks people are still going to use it, even if it's illegal, because it just has so many more use cases worldwide. It can be used as a digital gold. It can be actually used as a currency, even though there is high price fluctuations, especially right now with Bitcoin. But as we start to see, in my opinion, more institutions get involved in Bitcoin, we start to see that they allocate single digits of their balance sheet, and the big money players start to get involved. I think that'll be when we start to see Bitcoin's volatility really decrease, because right now it's really made up of mostly institutional investors. And in previous bull runs with crypto, all of the money was made from retail investors. This is the first time that we are really starting to see institutions like Tesla, Cathie Wood and ARK Invest, MicroStrategy. This is the first time that we're seeing some big players own billions of dollars worth of crypto and Bitcoin. Previously, in all the other bull markets, we have not seen that, but we are still at such the early stages. So it is going to still be volatile. And I know people say, well, in El Salvador, what happens if Bitcoin's price gets cut in half and you want to go buy a loaf of bread? I've seen this comment so many times, that it's not practical, because if Bitcoin's price gets cut in half, then you can't go buy your food. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't buy what you need. Ultimately, that volatility will decrease over time as we start to see more and more money get involved in crypto. Either way, though, he said right now he's extremely bullish on it. He has 10% of his portfolio in Bitcoin, and he says that he recommends the use of Bitcoin and that him and his bank are working to be the first bank in Mexico to accept Bitcoin. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal because this isn't just one person. This is a person with a lot of influence in a pretty major country in Mexico. He's worth 15.8 billion. He's the owner of Mexico's Banco Azteca. He also is the founder of Grupo Salinas. So he has a lot of influence in the financial world. So it's something just to keep an eye out on, something very exciting moving forward, specifically with Mexico, and hearing his opinion. How most people, they know this, but a lot of people I don't hear talking about it, that everyone says the only way Bitcoin is going to be the same market cap as gold is if it becomes a currency. Why is that? Why does it have to be the case when gold isn't used as a currency? It's used as a store of value that people can then transfer into a fiat currency. But why does everyone say that the only way Bitcoin will surpass gold in terms of market cap is if Bitcoin becomes a store of value, if Bitcoin becomes a currency? That's what everyone says. We've seen the former president of the New York Stock Exchange say that. We've seen a lot of top analysts, a lot of top people in the financial world say, look, the only way Bitcoin is going to reach $500,000 per coin, is going to have a $10 trillion market cap, is if it's used as a currency. But that doesn't really make sense, because gold isn't used as no country in the world says, okay, you can go to the store and pay with gold coins. So that doesn't make, it's the reasoning, I understand it, but it's not, the logic isn't really there. It isn't there. Next up, another thing with Bitcoin before we get into Dogecoin is a price prediction. So a major analyst came out and said that he thinks Bitcoin will reach $100,000 per coin this year if Bitcoin continues to hold $30,000 per coin and pushes its way upwards. And right now, that is looking very promising, because Bitcoin's price, as we are, while this is filming, is right at $34,855 per coin. We have seen a push upwards over the last couple of days since we saw a bit of a correction. So this looks like it will be the case in terms of holding 30,000. This person, a lot of people like to see what he has to say. His name is Vinny Lingham, and he is the former CEO of Gift, the co-founder of Project Civic. And essentially, he said that People like to listen to what he said, first of all, because he's made many predictions for Bitcoin in the past on various occasions, all the way back till 2016. He made a bunch of correct Bitcoin price predictions that seemed insane at the time, but all ended up coming true. Ultimately, though, a lot of people have made correct Bitcoin price predictions. It's just a matter of when you look at the time. So some people might have said Bitcoin would reach $20,000 per coin years ago, and it might have taken a little longer, a little shorter, but ultimately if you throw some numbers out there and you've done that over the last decade, your prediction has probably come right with Bitcoin. But either way, still interesting to see what he has to say, because he is the CEO of Gift and co-founder of Project Civic, and he said that right now Bitcoin has been holding above that $30,000 per coin range. And he says, if we continue to hold that and we see it break above the $35,000 resistance, push higher and break above 40,000, well, then we're clear to see another bull market and see us break $100,000 per coin in the second half of this year, that we should see another bull market happen. So in addition to this, he said in a tweet just yesterday on Sunday, June 27th, he said, look, back on May, I tweeted about, this is what he said, I tweeted about a bullish run in the crypto market for the second half of the year, that it looked 2021 looked a lot like 2013, where there was going to be a bull run, a bit of a correction, a 50% correction, and then another bull run towards the end of the year. He said it looks much like 2013. So then again, on June 22nd, he reiterated his tweet and he said, look, you heard it here first. Expect a big rally later this year. Bitcoin has just gone from being non-sanctioned money to state-sanctioned money. So he says he's not really sure if that's a good or bad thing, but ultimately, we're seeing a lot of progression in the Bitcoin world, specifically with Bitcoin in El Salvador. We're seeing Cardano in talks with El Salvador. We're seeing crypto really become a major portion of day-to-day life, not just an idea that people are talking about. We're seeing major use cases and applications being implemented all across the world, whether we're talking about in the Bank of Israel testing out smart contracts with Ethereum, or we're talking about Cardano in Ethiopia, or we're talking about Bitcoin being legal tender in El Salvador. Countries all over the world, they're starting to officially see the use for Bitcoin, see the use for crypto in general. And as long as we start to see, in my opinion, the biggest catalyst for Bitcoin this year is going to see a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF approved in the US. And I think once we see a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF approved in the US, that's going to be when we really start to see a bull run for crypto, because that's going to be when we start to see major institutions get involved. That's going to be when we start to see the big money players start pouring a lot of money into Bitcoin. And we all know that whenever one institution gets involved, whether we're talking about Goldman Sachs or BlackRock or Blackstone, once one of them starts to pour a lot of money in, all the others are going to follow, because they are not going to want to miss out on any opportunity in the crypto world or in any sort of asset. They're not going to want to miss out. So they're going to make sure they get involved with that. If you guys are just joining us today, appreciate you joining us. Any comments you have or questions, just throw it in the chat and we'll talk about it in a bit. Also, if you can, please be sure to like the stream. It helps out getting these videos to more people. I don't like doing any crazy titles, so I'm just going to always title these cryptocurrency and Bitcoin news and the day's date. And that's it, because I don't want to say, oh, major insane Bitcoin price prediction 2021, Bitcoin going to $1 million. I don't want to say any of that. We're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to say crypto, Bitcoin news. So if you can, please be sure to like the video. It helps get these out to more people without doing any sort of crazy titles that are just annoying. They're annoying to me, so they must be annoying to you guys also. But okay, next up, let's talk about what's going on with Dogecoin. Then we'll talk about a couple of other altcoins as well. So first up is with Dogecoin. Right now, Dogecoin saw a pretty big uptick after Elon Musk tweeted supporting the fee change proposal for Dogecoin. Just earlier, he came out, this was less than 24 hours ago, he came out and said, look, it's important to support, and he replied this in a tweet about the Dogecoin fee change and how the fee change proposal is finally up. So if we look on Reddit, someone posted about this, the fee policy change proposal for Dogecoin, and it suggests to reduce the average fees for standard transactions on Dogecoin significantly, making it more efficient, making it easier to scale up. And so that's what he says we need to approve and go ahead and do. So he says everyone needs to vote on this matter, and it's important to support it. So it's exciting. Whenever we see Elon Musk talk about anything related to anything related to Dogecoin, everyone gets very excited, whether it's just talking about a Dogecoin meme or if it's more has more substance behind it, like this one with the Dogecoin policy change. Either way, he has liked this tweet and people seem to be responding. We see Dogecoin's price right now up pretty significantly for the day. It is really just following the market, up 4.33%. Last 7 days, it is up 16%, which is higher than most other cryptos. If we look at these, you can see Bitcoin's only up 5% for the last 7 days. Ethereum's up 6%, but Dogecoin is up 16%, and it still is holding its number 6 position pretty strong. It is about $3 billion market cap ahead of XRP, which is a good sign. And so we'll see what happens here. Either way, though, Elon Musk still seems to be talking about Dogecoin. People had been getting worried for a while because he had not tweeted anything. He had not liked anything. It seemed like he wasn't talking about Dogecoin as much, but you got to remember, this is one of the smallest things on his plate right now. He has Tesla, SpaceX, Boring Company, Neuralink, Starlink. He has so many things that, you know what, it's okay if he doesn't tweet about Dogecoin for a couple of days. It's okay. But people are excited. He's back tweeting about it again. And let me know in the comments down below if you guys own Dogecoin or if you're bullish on it, and also like the video if you do own it. Next up, let's talk about another altcoin, which has been making some major moves. This is probably one of my favorite altcoins out there, and that is Cardano. So right now, Cardano just hit a major milestone. It hit a major milestone, passing the 650,000 staking addresses, which is a big deal. This means a lot of people believe in Cardano long term, but this is just the smallest announcement recently. Over the last couple of weeks, Cardano has had major announcements come out from their co-creator Charles Hoskinson, and they have said, look, first of all, Cardano is in talks with El Salvador. Charles Hoskinson came out and said that he has written a letter to El Salvador requesting to meet with the president, talk about implementing Cardano into day-to-day life, into so many different applications. In addition to this, he also explained how right now that El Salvador, that they are actually open to it. There's been a couple reports that El Salvador, since they made Bitcoin legal tender, they're open to digitizing their entire economy, and that is why they are currently, Cardano is making the initiative. That's what I like about them. Ethereum is great. It is, becoming more efficient with EIP 1559, more efficient with ETH 2.0. But the thing about Cardano is that their co-creator, Charles Hoskinson, is actively searching out partnerships, whether we're talking about El Salvador, whether we're talking about their partnership in Ethiopia with the Education Council, whatever it is, Cardano is actively seeking out partnerships, which is the only way you grow. It's like a small business. Who's going to end up winning long term? The company and the founder who's actively always searching out new partnerships, working with new customers essentially, or the one who just has a great product and just lets it sit for itself, lets it stand for itself. They both do well, but in my opinion, I think when crypto right now, it's so early on that Cardano does have a leg up because they are actively seeking out these partnerships. All the other cryptos probably are doing the same thing, like Ethereum is probably doing the same thing, but it's nice to see for investors and for people who are looking to invest in crypto. It's nice to see these reports come out from Cardano or from any crypto when they have some big announcements like this. In addition to this, other things that are coming out with Cardano, recent developments, is that they just did a test and confirmed their ability to run smart contracts on their Alonzo Blue phase. This is the first phase of Alonzo's rollout and their roadmap moving forward. There are 3 different phases for this. This is an upgrade which is going to make Cardano have smart contracts become more efficient, and a couple of other things as well. And finally, the last thing that they are doing is they said that they are in talks already with another deal in Africa, which is big. This is really big. So currently, Cardano has a big partnership with the Ethiopia Education Council. And according to the report, Ethiopian Education Minister recently came out and confirmed Cardano's blockchain partnership. They said, look, Cardano is implemented into the school system, so there's going to be 5 million Ethiopian students who have a blockchain-based ID, 750,000 teachers have access to the system, and the way it works is that each student is going to have their own Cardano blockchain-based ID where they can track their academic performance. But in addition to this, that's happened for a while. We've talked about this for a while. But the big news here is actually that new reports have come out that there's an additional partnership going on, additional partnership in the works. So according to IOG's director of African operation, these are like the Cardano developers, John O'Connor. He said another significant deal is in the works, and he said the focus on the Tanzania deal is to build scalable infrastructure in conjunction with World Mobile, and the project intends to provide mobile internet access to Tanzania while also offering digital identity to form the basis of socio-economic development. So although we don't know the exact details of this partnership, the exciting thing about this is that it looks like Cardano is trying to target all of these countries that are thinking about making Bitcoin legal tender. So El Salvador already legalized Bitcoin, made it legal tender, but now in addition to that, ever since they did that, Cardano, Charles Hoskinson has stepped in and they said, look, let's try and get involved with this country, with El Salvador, because obviously they're open to Bitcoin. They're doing the same thing with Tanzania. Tanzania, their government has come out multiple times and said that they are open to legalizing Bitcoin, making it legal tender. So Cardano is stepping in with all of these different countries, and they're saying, look, as soon as we hear a report come out that a country is pro-Bitcoin, pro-Ethereum, we're trying to step in and get integrated even more, because if they're interested in Bitcoin, they're probably interested in Cardano, or at least are open to the conversations about it. If you guys are just joining us, please be sure to like the stream. Let's see if we can get this up to 500 likes today. The last 3 streams, we got up to 350. So let's see if we can get this stream up to 500 likes. I really appreciate all you guys watching. And if you have any questions or you want to talk about something, you just want to have a conversation, put something in the chat. Put anything in the chat that you want to talk about, and we'll talk about it at the end of the video. But yeah, just please be sure to like the stream. It helps get this out to more people. You guys know that YouTube deleted my account, and ever since then, it's like the recommendations and the notifications for my videos all out of whack. So the only way we can get these videos out to more people is by you guys helping me out and liking